how much stock, what the warrants will be, the price of the warrants and all that. Sign it, and that's that. Now, the implicit threat was what? Well, we're the 600-pound gorilla, okay? We control the printing press. We're your regulators. We can regulate you out of existence in no time at all. You sign the paper or you finish. Now, some of them wanted the government money and wanted to sign over stock to them, okay? Because they said we're in bad position. But some of them didn't. But they didn't have any choice. See, government is so big and so powerful that it can put any of us out of existence, out of economic existence at any time they want. This is no longer a country governed by laws. This is a country governed by men. Okay? Come on, give me a break. Well, and you ladies won't relate to this, but you men might. Over in my building, right next door on the 3rd floor, there's a little room you go in sometimes. It's got a porcelain fixture, right? And you stand there. And so a while back, the fixture broke, right? And they replaced it with a new fixture. You know, what are you going to do, you know? So you look, and you're always looking for something to read, right? So, and there right on the top is 3.9 LPF. What the hell is that? Company's name? A logo? Some kind of advertising? No. 3.9 L. If the L is for liters, that's roughly 1 gallon. PF, per flush. I want to tell you, it dawned on me, I had forgotten about it. The federal government passed a law because of water problems in the West, water scarcities as they call them. People in New Orleans who have, those of you who've lived through it know, more water than we could ever care to worry about, huh? We are limited to 1 gallon per flush by the federal government, whether you like it or not. Now, any group of people who will let the government tell them how much water they can use to flush the toilet, huh, is a group of people who is already in serfdom to the government. They just haven't fully recognized it, okay? But the government can tell you how many miles per gallon you can get in your car. They can tell you all kinds of things. So, basically, at any rate, so they forced the sale of stock. Now, the IRS also, you can see all these different things. They try in anything, right? IRS has changed some tax rules to try and bail out the economy. Well, I have seen tax accountants question and say, well, isn't it up to Congress to change the tax laws? And competent tax attorneys claiming that this stuff is unconstitutional, that it's the IRS determining what the tax laws are, not the Congress. Again, a country of men, not of laws. Then we get to the second federal stimulus, and now they propose, and Bear, our socialist friend at the FDIC, okay, proposes what? We're going to bail out the homeowners, okay? Now, what is this, bail out the homeowners? Here's Barnett making $30,000 a year. He gets into a house where he can barely pay $1,000 a month. He's hanging on by his teeth, right? And they said, Barnett, you got to get out. You can't afford that house. You never should have bought it. Get out. Now, I didn't put any money down, so I don't have anything in the house, right? But all of a sudden, every sob sister in the country is saying, oh, you can't throw these people out of their homes. The home, they've been in it for 2 years. They don't have one bit of penny of equity in it, right? They didn't put any money down. They borrowed the money for the down payment. No, that's not their home. They've been renting it for 2 years, okay? But now it's their home, see? And so if $1,000 a month, if they can manage that, but that's not enough to pay for this house, and they borrowed, let's say, $300,000, but the $1,000 a month will pay for $150,000, well, we just lower the amount of the loan that they owe from $300,000 to $150,000, and they get to stay in the house. Thank you, Queen Bear. That's what she wants. She's not the only one, you know. So we have that. Then you go over to the Federal Reserve, and this is where it starts. AIG, great big insurance company, got into all kinds of stuff they shouldn't have. They knew insurance. They got into stuff they shouldn't have. They going bankrupt. Everybody says, oh, if they go bankrupt, the whole world ends, you know, because they're involved in Europe and the United States and they're big and all that. And so the Fed lends them $85 billion for 85% ownership of the company. What? And then what happens? Oh, $85 billion isn't enough. Now you got to give them another $37 billion. I'll tell you, that's not enough either. But we'll just lend them more when calm comes. Okay. Then the unlimited swaps and loans to the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, and the Swiss National Bank. That's that stuff where I showed you the quote where Bernanke says, hey, we'll make unlimited amounts of money, of dollars available to them if they want. In the meantime, the interest rate, the federal funds interest rate, which was 5.25% back in October, I guess it was, of last year, they've brought that down in no time to 1.5%, and now they're proposing to move it from 1.5% to 1%, okay? You look at this whole package of things, and it's totally incoherent. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's try this, try that, do this, do that. They don't know what they're doing. They haven't a clue. They're supposed to be leading this, and they don't have a clue. But they're willing to try anything with your money and my money. But where it really gets bad, if you want to see, is what the Fed has been doing. And here, and you all aren't going to be able to read this, and I'm not either, but just to show you, these are the various things. Now, this comes right from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. I picked it right up off their webpage today because I want to get the latest, okay? These are federal forms of Federal Reserve lending to financial institutions. Well, it used to be that their lending to financial institutions basically took two forms. Open market operations, where they either bought and sold securities, or bought or sold securities, I should say, or where they entered into repos or reverse repos, okay? And then they had the discount window, where a bank could go and say, gee, I need to borrow some money, and they'd say, okay, if you pay us this much interest, we'll lend you the money, see? So you had those were standard. But now, just within the last year, look at what they've come up with. The first is a regular open market operations account. Then you get to the single tranche open market operations program. Well, look at that. That was announced March 7th. Then you have the discount window, see? So those first and third are what I told you about. Then on August 17th, they come up with the term discount. Oh, that's August 17th of last year, right? Term discount window program. Then you have the term auction facility, December 12th of last year. Then you have the primary dealer credit facility, which is March 16th or 15th of this year. Then you have the transactional credit exercises, or whatever they call it, September 21st of this year. Asset-backed commercial paper money mutual fund liquidity facility. That was September 18th or something this year. And then securities lending to primary dealers. Term securities lending facility, that was announced March 11th. And term securities lending facility options program July 30th. And you look at them and each one's different and all that. What the hell is all that? That's a sign of somebody that doesn't have a clue what to do. And they try this, and then they try that, and then they try this, and they try that. And let's understand